Probation. Is it a thing? Sometimes I get a call from a business about an issue, and the caller mentions the subject of probation. It's probably because things are not going well, and they think they might have made a mistake in hiring the employee. They may even think that they want the employee and the whole problem to go away. But then they get stuck, not knowing if they can act, and they think about the impact of probation and their decision making and whether it stops the company from acting. So the question is, does probation exist? Well, the answer is yes, probation does exist. You can write it into a contract and make it part of a policy or a process. And where the practice in organisations is tight, they may well be marked by a sign-off process to acknowledge the employee has managed to make it to a certain point, typically 12 weeks, without calamity befalling them. Passing probation can be where an employee receives additional benefits or becomes a more embedded part of the business, a full employee, one of the team. But in a legal sense, probation means very little. It attracts only the importance that we place on the word. Probation is not a legal requirement. If there is no reference to probation in a contract, in the joining instructions or a company handbook, it would still be a perfectly lawful agreement. Unless you've drafted your employment terms in some sort of sadistically demanding obligation to the company, you don't have to wait until the end of probation to decide if the new hire is suitable. The significance or value of probation is really in our approach to the topic. All employers should reflect on new hires and how they are performing in their role. Do they understand what the company expects of them? Are they connecting with other people in the business? Have they got everything they need to do a good job? First, these thoughts are about the new hire, and secondly, these are broader questions about how good the company is at hiring people, making them effective quickly, and embedding them into the team once they've joined. To me, probation is a fiction. Sometimes it's a reason we give ourselves not to act. It is so much better if we focus on the prize rather than the line. Employees have some legal protection during this time. You should reflect appropriately before making any decisions about terminating somebody's employment. All employees have protection from wrongful dismissal from the beginning of their employment, but this is only really a protection on following a proper process before dismissing an employee. For many, unfair dismissal protection does not kick in for 2 years unless there is a connection between dismissal and the protected characteristic like sex, race or disability. So try not to dwell on the question of probation. If someone is not suitable for the organisation or is in the wrong role, then that's the problem that needs the focus, not the question of probation. Equally, at the same time, the individual is going to be sizing up the company. Good employees will be asking themselves, what will I learn here? What are my chances of progression? And do I get on with my boss and colleagues? Probation, if it exists at all, exists for both individuals and companies. Now, I hope that's helpful and thought-provoking. So if you have a question or an issue, drop me a line in the comments or connect with me and message me. And I might turn it into a video just like this one. If your business has a more significant HR question of a confidential nature, then you can book a free 30-minute meeting on the Click HR website. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.